Hi, my magical creatures, and welcome back to my channel. Yeah, today's video is another story time. Yes, like from high school, we're years out of high school now. This guy still constantly wants to mess with me. I don't know what his problem is. He probably secretly has a big crush on me or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know why people keep messing with me. I don't know why. Um, but yes, why are you so obsessed with me? Anyways, but yeah, so let's get into the story time of what happened because so this all started, I was graduating college and this guy that I kept seeing on Instagram followed my friend, and then all that he kept popping up like people you may know on Instagram. So one day I was going through his Instagram and it's public, and so I was like, oh wow, this guy's cute. And then I saw his little Instagram story, so I looked at it, and this guy lives in the same town that I lived in. And I come from a small town. So at the time I was like, how do I not know this kid? And me and him were the same age. So I thought that was crazy. And so turns out he went to school in another town, but he lived in the same town that I lived in. So I was like, oh, okay. So we're gonna call him Jeremy. We're gonna call him Jeremy. So yeah, so I ended up I think I liked his photo or something like that. And then he ended up he ended up following me, or I followed him. I don't remember. No, I think he ended up following me, and then that's when I commented him, or I said like, "Hey, like, I saw your Instagram story. You live like in the same town as me." And then he was like, "Oh yeah, I do." And I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Oh, okay, like, maybe we should hang out." And I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yes." So I was like, "All right, cool." No, I did not disclose I was trans. At the time, I was not out yet. I did not want to come out as trans. That was some things I did not want to go through. I was 2 weeks away from getting my face done. So yeah, your girl was not about to tell any tea at the time. But I did not do nothing with him. So yeah, I was gonna tell him, like, I was gonna go on a few dates with him and then tell him my tea. So what happened? So he, in high school, he was a rugby player and a football player. So keep remembering that because that's gonna come important later on in the story. So he basically was hitting me up. So he was like, let's go to Denny's or something like that. So I was like, all right, cool. Whatever. I was really busy because I was graduating college and I was trying to I was prepping for my tests, my finals, and then I had graduation within a week, and then the next following week I had my facial feminization surgery. So I had a lot going around, and then not only that, I thought like I was having a lot of like anxiety. I was like, what if things goes wrong on the surgery table, I end up dying, whatever. So I was like, you know what, at least I'm gonna enjoy my time with this new guy into my life, and whatever happens. So me and him, we talked. We went out to Denny's. We talked. He was really cool. He was really shy. I'm really kind of like, I knew he liked me or whatever. So I just was like, just be yourself. But then I had like a booger in my nose, and he didn't even tell me the whole time. So I really hit him up. I was like, thanks for telling me that I had something in my nose. And then he started laughing, and then we ended up hanging out again. So the first date went well, he wanted to see your girl again. So then the second time, we went to, what did we, oh yeah, we went to like an Indian restaurant, and then after that, we ended up going to see the Avengers. I have never seen the Avengers. I love the Avengers now. I've seen all of them now. But at the time, I think it was like the Infinity War or something like that. I don't remember. But that was out in theaters. And so he took me to go see that. And then he was explaining, so you have to see the other movies. I did not know, like all the little side movies too, of like Captain America, Thor. Like you have to watch all those movies and the other Avengers in order to know what's going on in the now Avengers movie. So he was explaining it, breaking it down to me, and like talking to me about it. So I was like, oh, okay. I can tell this girl was getting irritated that was sitting in front of us because he was just talking. I was just looking at him like, can you be quiet? Anyways, so he ends up like Snapchatting me on his phone, putting it on his Snapchat stories. I was like, oh my God. So I basically, he ended up kissing. He said he wanted to kiss me, and then I said, not on the second date, but on the third date you can kiss me. Because then I was gonna tell him, like I was gonna later on that day I was gonna tell him, and thank God I ended up telling him later that day before the other rereads try to mess up my image, try to defamation of character on me. But anyways, I basically said like here. And then so he kissed me on the cheek and then took a picture of it, put it on a Snapchat story, and I was just like, oh my God. And then after that happened, after the movie, it was cute, whatever. He ended up going home. I ended up going home. So I ended up hitting him up that day. I put it on FaceTime, on Snapchat, on video chat. And so I ended up telling him my situation. I was like, look, like I really like you, but if you want to see me again, there's something you need to know. He was like, what? And I was like, I'm transgender. Yeah. And I said, and next week I'm getting my face done. So to look more feminine. He just was like, oh, okay. So he ended up being like really quiet and stuff. And then I just said, like, is there anything you want to ask me? Like, you can ask me anything you want. He said, no, I'm good. Like, I don't want to like disrespect you by asking you like personal questions. I was like, all right, well, So, yeah, I was really sad because he was just kind of like in shock. He didn't know how to handle it. So then after that, his dad came into the room. He grabbed the phone and flipped it upside down, and I was really upset because I was like, "Nah, if I didn't tell you this, you would have been acting all cheer, rah rah with me." Like, anyways, I was annoyed. So his dad asked him to go get the family ice cream. So then he's like, I gotta go. And I was like, all right, bye. So I was pretty sad and upset. So I thought I was never gonna hear from him. So then he ended up hitting me back a couple hours later, and I was like, oh my God. And then he ended up hitting me, or I told him like, yeah, because I made up this facade like in high school, this popular pretty girl or whatever. But then when I told him the truth about like, yeah, like I've had bullies, and yeah, high school was not really my time. And so he hit me back a couple hours later, and then he was like, yeah, you were right, you do have some haters, and I just want to let you know, thank you for coming out to me and being honest with me, and you're very brave and like all this stuff. And then I was like, yeah, like what do you mean I have some haters? He was like, oh, I just want to let you know, like so when he played football and rugby, he was teams against my team at my high school, but he ended up hanging out with them and stuff. So that's how he knows them, because we all live in the same town, but he went to a school in another town. But he would play rugby and football with them against teams, but he would hang out with them and stuff. So that's how he knew them. And that's how they knew him. So anyways, they ended up so the picture of us with him kissing me here, they ended up screenshotting it, calling him gay and a faggot and like all this stuff. And it was just like really bad, and saying like Jeremy is all those names in the books. And then it was just really bad, and I was really upset and then I ended up apologizing to him. I said, I'm sorry. If you want, just tell them like, it's all on, that I tricked you or whatever, and that way you won't have to get bullied or whatever. And he said, nah. He said, don't ever apologize for who you are. That's who you are. You're a beautiful girl, and like all this stuff. And I was just like, and then, I don't know what happened after that, but basically, all I could think about was Jeremy. And so, he just told me that, and he said, I have friends, with me, that will like, because I told him, I said, I don't want you to get beat up or whatever. He was like, ain't nobody gonna touch me. I have friends that will die for me. Like, nah. He said, nah. And then I was like, okay. And then what happened? Yeah, after that, I haven't heard from him. But he kept watching my stories on Snapchat. And so I hit him up, or I got the face surgery. So right after surgery, the first person I could think about was Jeremy. He took a picture of me all bandaged up and stuff, and I was just sitting in the hospital bed. And then I just said, I miss you and I'm in a lot of pain. And then he said, that sucks. And I've never heard from him ever again, and that hurt so much because I didn't have any support in the hospital when I got the surgery. My family wasn't even there. So yeah, that was horrible. It's just annoying how my high school bully still tries to mess with me to this day. And oh yeah, that was another thing too. I was trying to ask him like who was it, because I was gonna literally DM them and go off and let them know, don't you ever mess with me again and keep my name out your mouth. But he wouldn't tell me. I have an idea who it was, but I'm not sure. I don't know until I know 100% who it was. Best believe you will be hearing from me, because I don't. You couldn't mess with me back in high school when I was very insecure and all this stuff, but now I'm pretty vocal and I'm ready to go off. But anyways, all I have to say is what I took from this was Jeremy was not man enough for me. You know what I'm saying? So if he, was, I need a partner, you know, that is secure with who he is and don't care about what nobody else has to say. Because I've met guys like that. I met a lot of masculine guys like that later on in life, where they know who they are and they don't care. They don't care. And Jeremy was someone that I felt like cared about what other people had to say. We all come from a small town. People know one another. So, I mean, I can understand why he doesn't want that drama, and he's very close with his family, you know. So, I understand I understand where he was coming from, but at the same time, too, for me, I need someone that is, you know, doesn't care, and he's all for, doesn't care about anyone else, and he puts me as his priority. So, yes, so that's the lesson I took with it. But yeah, years later, he kept watching my Snap stories, so that's why I would just be like, why is he watching my Snap stories? But then when I ended up posting that I was with, in that one video, I was in the car with 3 men or whatever when I went on that date. That's when he stopped watching my Snap stories, because I was posting him all up on my Snap stories. So then after that, he just ended up, I guess, unfollowing me. I don't know. But yeah, that's about it. But stay tuned for my next video. Stay magical. Oh, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, comment, like, and subscribe.